Only God can do that. Their heads are stuck so far up their own pious asses, they believe that view is the only view worth seeing. The sick thing is that the New World Order is disguising their scalar attacks under the cover of environmental pollution as the cause for these unprecedented storms and weather patterns. This way, you can kill with impunity, blame nature for the crime, and plead to the lesser charge of pollution. Another scan of my archives revealed a news brief in Star magazine written in July of 1982, which said, quote, "Pentagon and Kremlin are playing with our weather and giving us storms and floods," by El Ponte. It states, quote, "Ponte claims the Soviets have made advances in bending the all-important jet stream that sweeps across Siberia to set global wind patterns. By using explosive devices in the jet stream, scientists are trying to make it dip and rise in a way that could replace the frigid Siberian winter with a milder air from the south." Now you know that's not what you can do only with the jet stream technology. Here are the capabilities of what it is that the Russians can do right now. One, controlling the jet stream. That is lowering it, because it does this. You can lower it to the point where it would blow across the surface of the earth. The jet stream travels at several hundred miles an hour. Two, you can change the course of rivers. Three, you can thaw the ice caps. HAARP has the ability to shoot tens of millions of watts of power into the atmosphere. In other words, global warming may end up being an artificial quantum potential event. Four, altering weather patterns. And five, creating worldwide flooding. We're not even talking, this is just the outer, overt natural phenomenon. We're not talking about mind control, mood control, that it has the capability of doing. In April 1972, a Science News article appeared entitled "Weather Modification as a Future Weapon. The Military May Have Added the Weather to Its Arsenal," by Louis Pouret. In it he says, quote, "Both intentionally and by accident, man has discovered ways to alter the weather. In 1968, Gordon J.F. McDonald, a geophysicist who is now a member of the President's Council on Environmental Quality, described possible military applications of weather modification in a chapter of the book entitled "Unless Peace Comes." Get that book. Because he's saying that unless peace comes, here's what will happen. Louis Pouret, P-U-R-R-E-T-T, then lists some of the more devastating conditions that can be produced by such technology. One, heavy precipitation causing flooding in the most fertile and productive regions of the world. Two, drought. Three, steering hurricanes towards targeted shores. Really? No, beloved brothers and sisters, there were no mistakes. There was no ineptitude. There was no incompetence. What we witnessed was but a prelude, using African children, soldiers, every African child soldiers,
Want to sit right there?
against their own population. No ma'am, no sir.
You want to say this?
Or were they really American soldiers? Know that all of what happened pertaining to the response by FEMA and the government was a cold, calculated exercise in mass murder. A mass eviction being carried out directly under the noses and before the faces of a nation. Let us take a chronological inventory of the Katrina rescue. Listen carefully, brothers and sisters, and at the end of this, you tell me what you think. This is documented fact by the newspapers, and I got these suckers right here for proof. I kept it off because I They'll cover up his coming.
Right.
Let's check the Katrina rescue. 1. FEMA tells first responders not to respond until told to do so. August 29th. FEMA won't accept Amtrak's help with the evacuation. August 29th. Offers of helicopters for rescue work is rejected. September the 1st. FEMA blocks 500 Florida airborne pilots for rescue work on the 2nd of September. FEMA to Chicago, send only one truck, September 2nd. FEMA bars morticians from entering New Orleans, September the 2nd. FEMA blocks 467 to 500 boat flotilla from aid and delivery on September the 3rd. Homeland Security won't let Red Cross deliver food, September 3rd. FEMA fails to utilize Navy ships with 600 bed hospitals, September 4th. FEMA cuts local emergency communication phone lines, September the 4th. FEMA turns away experienced firefighters, September the 5th. FEMA turns back Walmart trucks, over 50 of them, September the 5th. FEMA prevents Coast Guards from delivering diesel fuel, September the 5th. Navy helicopter pilots who rescued victims were then later reprimanded on September the 7th. U.S. rejects German cargo plane with 15 tons of food and medicine on September the 10th. U.S. rejects the offer of 300 doctors from Cuba, September the 11th. 17. FEMA declines experienced volunteer firemen for rescue operations and instead uses them to distribute public relations flyers for FEMA, September the 12th. And the list of ineptitudes and incompetences goes on and on. No, beloved brothers and sisters, this was not a screw-up. A bureaucratic bungle, ineptitude or bad luck. It was cold calculated mass murder by drowning. Conditions were allowed to deteriorate and degenerate to create the necessary public perception that would allow us to sanction lethal military intervention. It was vital to the cover-up of the crime that the military be used to buffer us against the truth. Degenerating conditions by non-action for 3 to 5 days create desperation to heighten survival instincts. If you are in a perilous situation and you are not rescued within 3 to 5 days, the mind begins to go crazy.
Right.
This was purposefully orchestrated. Deprive victims of essential needs in catastrophic conditions. Criticize the victim of this catastrophe as the victimizer, as he does what is necessary to save himself and his family. A perfect ploy to sell to a moronic, dumbed-down, logic-challenged American consumer. Yes, Operation Mindfuck 2 was a rousing success. Writer Steve Black posed an interesting and all too obvious question that has been neglected by the mass-ass media. With all of the ineptitudes committed by FEMA and the government, its callous treatment of the black people in this situation, why did no one at least conjecture the point that in all of this there might have been actually a tactical, purposeful, seek and destroy mission to kill off the black hoodoo, Santeria worshipping nigger heathens shuffling around the bayou? And if the world was indeed witness to mass murder and the government denies that this was so, what then do we say is murder? Well, let's look at the definition of murder. Because we don't have a trial. Y'all are a jury here.
Right.
I'll be the judge. You're going to be judge.